Hi, I'm Dr. Jamie Phillips, Professor of Philosophy at Clarion University. Today I'm going to give you an argument for being honest. A lot of ethical theories talk about honesty, and they do so in a way that explains it theoretically, like utilitarianism and Kantianism, social contract theory. But we already know that it's wrong to lie. Everybody already believes that it's wrong to lie, except under the rarest of circumstances, like maybe save somebody's life. Then it might be okay to lie. But all the other time it's wrong to lie, and yet, strangely enough, we still lie a lot, and we often lie far more than would be justified by these rare circumstances. So what could constitute a reason not to lie in every circumstance? Well, to give you a case example about that, I'm going to start with something entirely different. I'm going to use the metaphor of Mr. Murder. Murder. Mr. Murder is a person who loves to kill, but he's also an agoraphobic, so he stays in his own home, and he loves his own home. So he has to wait for people to come to his house in order for him to kill them. But what does he do with the body? Mr. Murder can't leave his house. He loves it too much. So what he does is, he does what anybody would do if they committed murder. If you haven't thought about this before, he hides the body someplace in his house. So the first time he kills somebody, he takes them and he takes that body and he puts it in the basement. And unfortunately, when you do that, of course, he hates murdered bodies just as much as anybody else does. He has to shut the door and not go in the basement anymore. So the basement is taken away from him in his own house that he loves so very much. And eventually, he'll kill somebody else and put them down in the basement. But eventually it's filled up and the basement's done and he has no access to the basement anymore. So what does he do? Well, the next time somebody comes to his house and he feels the itch to kill, he takes them and he murders them and he puts them in the attic. And eventually the attic is full and he can't go to the attic anymore. But he still loves to kill, and eventually the callers keep coming for whatever reason. And so he starts using up the rest of the rooms in his house. Eventually he uses the guest bedroom and then all the closet space. And then maybe underneath the floorboards. And eventually he has to use the bathroom and the kitchen and his own bedroom and the living room and the foyer. And so eventually his house is gone. And he has to sit on the front porch like a kind of a weirdo, unable to go into his own house and therefore completely unable to commit murder anymore either. Mr. Murder has lost his home. He's lost what's important to him. So let's talk about lying. Right? When people lie, nobody likes a liar. Nobody likes lying themselves. It's not something you enjoy. And so when you lie to somebody else, what do you do with the lie? You don't want to keep it, right? But lying takes place in your own body and takes place in your own mind. So when you lie, you have to hide the lie someplace, but the only place you can hide it is in your own mind, which means you have to try to forget about it, right? So to do that, you have to partition your mind like it's a bunch of rooms. And you put the lie in a part of your mind and you have to lock it down because you don't want to see that lie anymore because that's not who you are. And you start locking down your mind. Every time you lie, you lose a little bit of your mind. And because of that, you lose a little bit of yourself. You can imagine this taken to a great extreme with a pathological liar. Somebody who's an extreme liar. We'll call her Mrs. Liar. And Mrs. Liar lies continuously. Eventually, she partitions her mind to the point where there is nothing left of Mrs. Liar. It's all gone. And so she becomes this weird critter in the universe that talks and moves and behaves, but cannot move based on a guided purpose from a person behind the scenes. She's not a person anymore at all. She destroyed herself through her lies. She literally destroyed her personal integrity by destroying her person. Lying is something that we have to hide from, but the only place you can hide the lie is inside yourself. And so when you lie, you have to destroy part of yourself to keep yourself hidden from the lie itself. And so lying always causes harm to the person. You have a motive to never lie because lying always destroys part of you, even if it's a small part. It's always gone. So your motivation to never lie is not because necessarily God's going to crack down on you for doing it, or it's not going to maximize your overall happiness, or it's not going to be that you're going to violate the social contract. Your reason to not lie is that it destroys you. Honesty is a way to not just keep yourself from being destroyed, but to expand who you are as a person. Being an honest person is a person who somehow creates a greater individual, a greater house in which they can live, a greater house for other people to view. You create a person through your actions. You destroy a person through your actions. Don't lie. It destroys you. Be honest. You'll become great.